we are going to be starting with our mindsets. It's imperative because sometimes we have these limiting beliefs. We have the background that we are brought up in that tends to control our paradigm and, of course, ultimately control our lives, and in this case, our financial decisions. So it is imperative that we start from the truth is that you can live a financially free life. You can actually live a life filled with abundance and all that you actually need to thrive in life. Now, the second tip about our personal finance is for us to be intentional about budgeting. Budgeting is a cornerstone in financial planning. The Bible reminds us about this, and that is from Luke 14:28. It says, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down, estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? Planning is biblical. When we budget, we are good stewards of God's resources. Now, you know what budgeting helps you to do is to look at how much is coming into your account, how much is actually going on at the end of the month. By the time you budget, you're being proactive. You're like, okay, this is how much I'm going to get, and I want to assign every dollar to something. That way you're able to prioritize saving. That way you're able to automatically take out those things that may come in the middle of the month, that may be emotional, perhaps seeing a cloth and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get this, or seeing something that you don't have any business in purchasing. By the time you budget, it gives you a clear picture of your financial status, and you're like, okay, what can I take out of the list? What is a need? What is a want? And that is what budgeting helps you to do. I'm going to leave a PDF file if you want to start, if you're a beginner in budgeting, so you can actually start budgeting. Now, some practical things. You can actually have a monthly budget if you're paid monthly, then have a monthly budget if you're paid bi-weekly, then have twice in a week budget. You can also budget your tithing. You can also budget everything on the expenses, and most importantly, savings. Talking about savings, that brings us to the next personal finance tip, which is save consistently. Saving is not about hoarding money. It is about you being proactive for the future, thinking long term. Proverbs 21:20 says, the wise ones stir up choice foods and olive oil, but the fools gulp down theirs. This Bible verse encourages us to save what we need for the future. And in the same Proverbs, we're reminded of the ants that look at them. They don't even have a counselor. They don't have a wise person, a captain leading them. But in summer, they save for winter that is coming. In your abundance, sometimes we have seasons in life when you're living a life of abundance. Things are going well. Your business is working well. It is imperative that in the time of abundance, that you save for when you may not have so much as you are experiencing or enjoying now. And we can also see that from the life of Joseph when he went to Egypt. It was because in the abundance they were able to save that when the time of famine came, they did not only enjoy what they have saved, but they also sold to others. We cannot be fools gulping down everything we have as the money comes, splurging on our wants. And then when famine comes, we're like, can you borrow? And we live on credit card. We are supposed to live differently with discretion, with prudence. That is why saving is imperative. Let's talk about the key strategies in the saving. You need to save for emergency fund. Now, this emergency fund can be from 4 months to 6 months of your living expenses. By the time you're able to save that, you make a decision from a place of logic, not emotional, that, okay, if I don't go to work, if I don't just take whatever is offered first, I may be out on the streets. So emergency fund, if you're not doing anything, it is important that you save for that. The other one is retirement. The best time to start saving for retirement is yesterday. But if you haven't started, it's now. Save consistently, no matter how small it is. In fact, you can start with 1% and over time increase it to 10, 20 and all that. Increase your saving muscle, just like exercise, right? By the time you start saving, you're increasing it. So you're like, okay, how much can I put out from this? You start enjoying it by the time you see the growth. Now, the other one we need to talk about is being mindful of debts. The Bible says that the borrower is a slave to the lender. In my previous video, I talked about debts. Now, not all debts is bad, right? We know that some debts, when you take and you do have a plan to pay back, you can leverage on that, get the resource. A very good example is if there is a property to be sold and you don't have the money, it is not wise for you to say, okay, I'm going to save in 10 years time. By the time you save for that, inflation must have occurred, the money must have increased, perhaps it will not be available. But if you can go to the bank, take it, buy the land, be able to sell it for 10 or 20 of the actual price you bought it, then that's you taking advantage of the debt. And that is why I said not all debt is bad. Now, the bad part is when you go to get a car, when you go for your travel trips and all that on credit card. You know why I'm saying this? Because on the car, there is a depreciation of 25% every year. The car interest is very high. It is not just worth it. So it is imperative that we show prudence and discretion to avoid debt as much as we can, because by the time you start paying it, you realize, especially in those high interest debts, you're going in circle. You pay, but a lot of money is taken out for the interest, a lot of money is taken out from the service. By the time you, in fact, do me a favor, check your receipt of how much you pay. You realize, especially for the cars and those high interest things that you may buy that you may actually not need, you're paying a lot for service, not actually the actual amount. And the third one, which is very important, is to avoid unnecessary debt. In fact, you can also tell yourself, if I don't have this money, I'm not going to buy it. So you can actually delay the purchase, save until you have the money to pay for it upfront before you actually get what you want to buy, instead of going to debt. The other one we need to talk about is defining your wants and your need. Now, I say this because sometimes we make emotional purchases. As ladies, we go on window shopping, we add things to our carts on Shein or Temu and all that. Although it can be a little amount, but over time they compound to something much, right? Now, one of the things I do is, if I see that this is really nice, especially when I'm shopping online, I just put it in my cart. If I feel the same way 3 weeks later, that same excitement is still there, I'm going to buy it. The other thing is that you may realize that it's just an emotional addition to the cart and you take it away. That way, you've been able to avoid unnecessary purchase. The other personal finance that happened to me recently is counting the costs. Before you get committed to a particular purchase or some kind of transaction in the future, it is imperative that you ask people, how is your experience? By the time you ask people, gain knowledge, you'll be able to make an informed decision that, okay, this is a commitment that I don't want to get in financially. Perhaps not at the right moment, or perhaps this is not the right moment. I may do it in the future. So it is imperative that you ask questions and we're not hasty about purchases, because at the end of the day, what I tell myself is, can I live without it? If I can live without it, then it makes no sense for me to actually give my money to others, right? The other personal finance tips is living a life of frugality. I see myself as a frugal person, and I have recently, for the past 2 years, I have trained my brain to live with less. So I ask myself, this shirt I have or this watch I have and all that, how long am I going to use it? So if I'm not going to use it for a minimum of 3 years to get the value out of it, then I'm not going to purchase it. You don't need white, green, yellow and different kinds of watch for you to feel happy. Your real value, your real worth is founded in God's identity, not in what you wear. Now, I'm not trying to tell you not to look good, but you can be intentional about what you purchase. Is it going to last for a long time? Is it just a momentary one? Because at the end of the day, if it is better for you to buy just one top that will last you for a long time, so you don't go buying and buying. Because if you finally count the cost, you see that buying the fast fashion clothes will actually make you to spend more than you need. By the time you want to buy something, ask yourself, how long is it going to last me? Do I really need this? Is it functional? The durability Am I going to feel the same way in the value 3 years? It is imperative that we actually sit down, ask yourself this question, and you are going to be saving a lot of money and perhaps have more money to invest into businesses and opportunities that will come your way. I know that you guys have a lot of personal finance tips you are using, so please leave that in the comment section, and please do not leave one comment, leave several comments, as I would love to read and reply to all of them. And of course, your insights will be helping the sister that I'll be reading, so please do not leave one comment. And if you're not already, please subscribe and share this video to your friends and your WhatsApp status, to your mom, your dad, your sisters, and please click on the like button just below the title. You will see the thumbs up. By you clicking on that, you're actually helping others to find this video. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you all in my next video. I think you're going to love this video. Bye for now.